Welcome back, dear students. We are learning about the second chapter, banking institutions. In this session 5, we are going to learn much more details about types of scheduled and non-scheduled banks by learning about their characteristic features and the need for creating new banks. When we speak about banks, the Banking Regulation Act of 1949 defines banking as accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposits of money from the public, repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawable by check, draft order, or otherwise. Commercial banks are like other financial institutions, for example, money lenders, indigenous bankers, cooperative societies, agricultural and industrial credit institutions, which are in the business of lending and borrowing of money or credit. The operations of all these banks are regulated by the Reserve Bank of India, which is the central bank and supreme financial authority in India. The main source of income of a commercial bank is the difference between these two rates which they charge to borrowers and pay to depositors. Commercial banks are the primary vehicle through which credit and monetary policies are transmitted to the economy. Credit and monetary policies are implemented through action on bank reserves, that is, cash reserve, statutory reserve, and liquidity ratios, margin requirements, and the rates at which scheduled banks can borrow from the RBI. These affect the supply, availability, and cost of credit at banks. The nature of lending and investing by commercial banks is multifunctional. They deal in a wide variety of assets and accommodate different types of borrowers. They facilitate the spread of the impact of monetary policy to non-bank lenders and to other sections of the economy. The operations of commercial banks are highly flexible since they provide facilities for financing different types of borrowers, which enables them to channel funds according to specified priorities and purposes. Scheduled banks are the banks which have been included in the second schedule of RBI Act 1934. Public sector banks are those banks in which majority of stake is held by the government. For example, SBI, Punjab National Bank, Syndicate Bank, Union Bank of India, and so on. Private sector banks are those banks in which majority of stake is held by private individuals like ICICI Bank, IDA Bank, IDBI Bank, HDFC, Axis Bank, and so on. Foreign banks are the banks with the head office outside the country in which they are located. For example, Citibank, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of Tokyo Limited, etc. Now coming to the concept of why the new banks are required in India. We can say that it is generally accepted that greater financial system depth, stability, and soundness contribute to the economic growth. Beyond that, for growth of any country to be truly inclusive requires broadening and deepening the reach of banking. A wider distribution and access of financial services helps both consumers and producers raises their welfare and productivity. Such access is especially powerful for the poor as it provides them opportunities to build savings, make investments, avail credit, and more important, insure themselves against income shocks and emergencies. So this was about the various types of scheduled and non-scheduled banks. Thank you, dear students. We will meet again in the coming sessions. Till then, take care. Bye.